Hosta mefta cinco pasta. Hosta mefta ure. Rishi labir groove snores lagel Rishi labir usas nos dovre. Hosta mefta cinco pasta. Hosta mefta ure. Rishi labir groove snores lagel Rishi labir usas nos norveg.
Yazor, why Yazor, go, if not.
Zumba nisi nisi Rista music rosti play Zika kumba jumba noro Kumba jumba hero Kumba jumba opposite way
Yeah. Hero.
I mean,
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, we played a role-playing game. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Smuggler's Reverse, our Star Wars RPG. Yay! Hi. Say hello, players.
Hello.
hello.
How's
Hello,
that?
hello. How are you guys all doing tonight?
Can't
Good.
complain.
This
Pretty
is
good.
Great.
Pretty good.
This is such a stupid contrivance because we've clearly been talking for 30 minutes already. But now we go
Yeah,
live.
and you have not asked how we're doing in that
That's
30
true.
minutes.
It was pretty rude of you, also.
You know what? I had to say I needed the reply to be authentic on here. I didn't want it
But
to
did
be
we
canned.
ask Philip how he was doing?
How are you?
Well,
doing, Philip?
You don't have
So
to.
we're all awful, is what
Glad
we're
you
getting at.
asked, guys. I'm doing bad because I've been wronged. Nah, I'm doing great. It's Star Wars night. This is wonderful. I have Murdenki playing in my ear right now, and I believe that's what the folks at home are hearing as well. This is still Carbonite Freeze. There's no new track this week, but we'll try to get one out sooner than later.
Perfection.
We got some fun Star Wars game nonsense for tonight. I'm gonna say real quick here at the top of the thing, just because it is I was told September, that we should have everyone, if you have a free subscription and you'd like to subscribe to us, go ahead and subscribe to us using your free subscription from Prime, or you can gift subs for some amount of money off. I did not learn about this fast enough to be able to say something useful in this little thing at the top of our show, but I think you guys get the basic thing. So yeah, if you want to check us out and support the thing, then yeah, go ahead, Pierce.
Oh, I was going to say, in case anyone doesn't know, yeah, if you have an Amazon Prime subscription, you can link it to your Twitch account. It gives you a free subscription every month. We would be happy to have one of those. You should absolutely use it because it's just taking just a fraction of a penny away from Jeff Bezos, and that's worth it, honestly.
Yeah.
Amen.
And then there's also, I guess you can gift them for cheaper. And this is September, and then next month.
No, not on this. Stream.
No, we're not doing
Not
that.
on this one, Philip.
We'll stop.
All right, they said not on this stream. We'll hear about it on another stream. It rhymes with Domtober. Wait,
God damn it.
just
You son of a.
in any case,
Which we will not be participating in, but if anybody
Speak
else
for yourself.
It
Hey,
rhymes
Jack-
with it and also isn't.
This channel has now been demonetized.
That is true, and it's about bloody time. Yeah. So but we are here to play.
Please give us
Smuggler's
your
Reverse.
subscriptions and then demonetize us.
Solid business plan, to be honest.
This is a great thing. So yeah, I don't know if Rakur, I don't want this to always fall to you, but can you kind of, if not, it's totally fine. But do you want to
I
kind of
can go.
summarize slightly what happened last week?
Yeah, sure. No, I actually take notes this time.
That actually
So-
feels pointed for some reason.
So as where we had left off after our very first episode, where we were going to get the details of the heist in greater detail. And so at the beginning of this, Leota laid out that we are trying to get a key from one Sibilant Paul, which we learned is a non-binary android that is a former member of
That
the
one's on me, actually. Technically, cyborg.
cyborg. A
I said
non-binary
android.
cyborg.
It's not an android. Cyborg. In other words, is a living being who has cybernetics attached. That's a cyborg. I knew that was wrong when I said it, but I just said the wrong thing. So anyway, continue.
Who was a former member of the First Order, who has this key, which is for a finance runner, one of these ships that sort of maintain the balance of finances in a sector of the galaxy. So our goal is to get this key from him, which will get us access to the credits on that ship, which we can collect for ourselves to the tune of 1 million each. So we are at Namadie for the regatta, where Sibilant Paul will be present. And we also have a subplot going now with one Murdenki trying to ruin the career of his rival, Mama Gurk, and her
You
little
say
darlings.
subplot, but
Yeah, the
Becky
Mama
is the main
Gurgle
plot.
storyline is clearly this whole heist thing is just a background for.
Well, for Murdanky specifically, that is the plot at this point.
We got to go amp to amp of Mama Gurgle and Murdanky and just see. Yeah, that's the true battle.
And the other bit was Ricor Prek got involved with the Duke of Earl, making
Earl.
Yeah. And getting some barely useful information, but not nothing. And miraculously, Dr. Oddo, I apologize, turns out to be a specialist in Paul's gear specifically, and was able to learn exactly how the sort of crypto computer he has in him works, and how we might be able to kind of gather the information from them.
Yeah.
I believe that is kind of where we ended off.
I gotta tell you guys, I think I said this last week, but I created the character of Sibilant Paul long before I learned what any of you were playing. And the fact that there is a cyberneticist in the party throws a bit of a wrench into my plans. As one of Dr. Otto's observations about this cybernetic headgear was that, if there's an encryption key to get to this thing, that's what the key is. So, gone is my little fun reveal where you guys are like looking for a key and you're like, wait, they are the key. I don't care. I don't care. It's fine. Retreat to move forward. So yes, that is kind of where we left off. I think we also had a brief, interesting moment where on the main plot, not this little subplot about a heist, where one of Mama Gurgle's, one of her little darlings, Fally Porto, was actually spying on you all, and
She was trying.
Oh, right.
she was caught by Lucknux. And after Lucknux showed her various pictures of his, of his kids and, the property he's purchased to retire to and all that good stuff, you guys managed to convince Fally not to maybe delete some of what she'd already sent to Mama Gurgle so as not to ruin Mama Gurgle's plans. But clearly you have been observed and there's some tension and things are already getting a little dangerous here. But we will resume in that very cantina. No time skip. You guys are just there where you were. You still have, night is falling at this point, and the idea is that tomorrow morning you have a pretty early call. I think it was like 7:30, and you said you'd be there at 7 for your sound trek on the floating platform that's going to be. And the way this works is, people are going to be sailing all the way around this planet over the course of a month, while these platforms of people watching and stuff kind of just hover alongside, watching the sailing ships from a respectable distance. It appears that Sibilant Paul, they are actually going to be one of the competitors in this event. So, gang, having heard all of that and probably internalized none of it, what is your next move?
Ricor Prek has a question for you, Doctor.
Go ahead.
Yes, Ricor would like to know if we're going to have to kill Sibilant Paul in order to get the key from him. Because if Ricor remembers correctly, you said it is most of his brain.
Yes, and I will go over into the medicine, but I do not know what you, Living Force, has to say about that.
Absolutely, we'll make a medicine check for me. And you do have I don't know if you literally have reliable medic, but you have a pretty good baseline here in any case.
Yeah, I rolled exactly 10.
Okay.
So no matter what, it would be 10 plus 12, so 22.
22. With a 22, you are fairly confident that this person, Sibilant Paul, they will die if you remove their headgear and don't replace it with something or put them in stasis. Now, could you get something that you could plug in to keep them alive? You probably could. you know, you have some black market connections on almost any planet you go to with your hut connections.
I also want to recite if it's usable, if it's not attached to a person at all.
Oh, yes,
headgear.
and it would, so taking it out and getting the information that's stored inside it that isn't about regulating like bodily functions, which is the main part of your cybernetic, you know, expertise, you believe it would be entirely possible to crack that thing and take stuff off of it, but you would need like slicing to do that, so that would be a use computers check and probably a pretty high DC. I think you also did last week, you guys mentioned you have no specific knowledge of this. You've probably heard it happening. Maybe you've done it yourself. Occasionally people do put like incendiary devices in certain kinds of cybernetics so that if they are removed, rather than any information stored on them, they will explode. You have no idea if they have done that on this, but...
Well, it's a distinct
The
possibility.
First Order, I wouldn't put them past them.
Yeah, that's possible.
These
So-
these ships that they're sailing around the planet on, are they actual like sailboats?
Sailboats with sails, yes.
What primitive technology?
Indeed, it's like a return
So
to
the people that are sailing them are likely to be on deck in visible view frequently in that case.
Oh, yes. They have small cabins, like they have like a small, you know, place where you can hide, but this is not like a sailing galleon where you think you could, you know, like climb up the side over a rope while everyone's asleep down below or something. No, it's just a little schooner. Yeah.
With a lightsaber between her teeth.
Well, in that case, it sounds to me like we better take him out before he gets on the ship.
Yeah,
Right, but how do we
Easy.
get them before they get on the ship?
Do we know
We
where
can
he's
find
staying?
him.
So,
Well, also, Record does not have a problem if the plan is that we kill them. It's quite dramatic, honestly, but Record just wants to understand what the plan is.
See what? I don't see any point in not killing them unless it's going to set off the
That's
electronic.
that's exactly why there
Yes.
might be a kill switch. Will have to be.
So
And-
find him and stun him.
And no offense, Phawz Nee, but I think you're pretty good at headshots, and we don't want any headshots on this guy for obvious
Wow.
reasons.
These blasters have a stun setting.
Wait, hold on. I believe that my processors, this is S474, something is wrong with my processors. Is Phawz Nee talking about using the stun setting? I don't believe I am functioning properly. I clearly need to go into diagnostic mode.
See.
Never mind him.
So, I think I can craft, knowing the surgeries I've done with similar things, I can craft some believable excuse to get close to him via a medical mumbo jumbo that they won't understand, but I understand, of course.
Oh, yes, it is possible that there is I imagine that there is some sort of medical exam before they have to go off on this journey, yes?
Of course, yeah.
Record would think that would be a great way for you to sub in as the medical doctor.
All right.
All right, well, what happens when we get the key? What's the plan then?
Well, one step at a time. If we go through that plan and get access to Sybil and Paul, then what? Knock him out, bring him along.
Well,
restrain
once we
him?
figure out how to utilize the key, then we take
Kill
it to
them?
the ship.
Oh,
N-
yeah,
well-
that, of course. Well, I mean, if we leave them behind, then they'll know who took it, and we'll be suspects, right?
Presumably so, however. We'll play the whole killing thing by ear.
That's grim.
But let's get on with it.
How are we going to convince him to give us his headpiece? Or are we
Presumably,
stunning
they've
him?
already performed. Living Force, correct me if I'm wrong, but I assume that they have already performed any physicals that would have been necessary in order to compete. However, if the doctor happens to knock on the door and say we have some concerning issues regarding your
Oh,
headset,
that's where I was gonna go. Yeah.
That is information you have no idea about, so it's theoretically.
So my guess is
your guess is as good as anyone's.
All right.
Record thinks that makes sense.
Well, I have a very important question.
Yeah.
When
Is it
should
about
I be
Mama
sabotaging-
Gurgle?
Well, what else would it be about? You know me by now. What else would it be about? Anyways,
Well-
when will I find the time to sabotage Mama Gurgle?
perhaps after you are a very wealthy man.
Actually, say we get into reach of Sibilant Paul, and for unknown reasons, I have to bail very suddenly. I would need some sort of distraction. So if you can come up with something to two birds with one stone, get me an exit strategy and sabotage Mama Gurgle, that would be very helpful.
I
I
like
don't-
how you think, Dr. Odd.
What are you
Recommend
looking
focusing
to
on the
do
mission
when
that-
you get to Sybil and Paul? Even if you get to him, you're not going to be able to get the codes out of him by yourself.
Well, that's the thing. First off, one thing we need to figure out is if he has a kill switch on that device. If so, we'd have to somehow convince him or restrain him while I do the surgery. It only take I'm really fast. I can do 10 minutes.
This is all getting too complicated for me. Why don't we just get to him, stun him, bag him, bring him back to the ship, and deal with him from there?
The headpiece is presumably delicate,
That's why we
Why
have
I said stun him,
which
bag
we
him, and bring
may
him back
not be
to our
able to
ship.
do
one
without
step
triggering the
at
kill
a
switch.
time,
if there is
Phawz
one.
Nee. That's the thing.
I didn't. You said it's a kill switch. I didn't say kill him. I said stun him.
Well, a kill switch implies that if there's any kind of tampering or synaptic activity,
I'll tell
that
you
may
what.
not
Make
be...
a. This would be. You're the only one who can attempt this because you're the one who knows about it. But I want you to actually make a mechanics check for me, Dr. Otto.
Mechanics.
This is you trying to think of
+3.
what would trigger it, the ones you've seen, what you understand about that part. Because, you know, these cybernetics are, interestingly, it is kind of a combination of mechanical things, computer things, and, you
Right.
know, it's kind of a cross-discipline.
Not 20 plus 3.
23. Would you like to add a force point to this? He always says, just to be mean.
It resets at the start of every session.
Yeah,
right?
you
So
should. You
might
have
as well.
4. Everybody else only has 3.
Might as
You
well.
have 4.
Plus 5. So 28.
That's 28. You would imagine that stunning the person would not, usually a kill switch on a thing like that. The only time you've ever like installed one or been around one, I will leave it to you whether or not you ever actually willingly put a thing that would blow up someone's brain if it was tampered with.
Well.
But it was tied specifically to their heartbeat.
Right.
So
I wouldn't
stunning
say
them
I
would
willingly
not.
had to do it, but you know those are cartels.
Exactly. But yeah, so you suspect that if it's anything like yours and or things like that, they typically are going to be, if the heart stops beating, there's a brief window, and then bang bang, the device is destroyed. Usually not even in a way that would be disrupt. Like it's not like a bomb. It's more that just it's like internally the device is fried.
Right.
Any data on it or whatever is gone.
And I recite that from what I've worked with to Phawz Nee. So I guess stunning him would be okay. So anyway,
The only possible flaw that Rakor can see with simply bagging and tagging, as Phawz Nee is proposing, is perhaps we should see who has bet on Sibilant Paul. If there are some disreputable people that have bet on them and they go missing, we may find ourselves with people looking for us.
Well, that's why I'm suggesting we frame somebody else. Can you guess who I say we should frame?
Well,
Oh, that's.
I'll get it in a minute.
I'll give you one guess.
well, we should try to execute this plan. If it doesn't work, we can always see if we can catch them at one of the...
all right. So it is
Stops.
at what time period before the? What? The day before, right?
We will say you guys are coming up on like
Uh,
it's 13, 14 hours before the actual sailing event starts tomorrow morning at like 9 a.m. Yes, go ahead.
When I was looking into all of the betting and stuff like that, was it clear to me whether or not the bets were public or not?
The bets were not necessarily oh, I see what you're saying. If that would more be kind of like the scuttlebutt around the area. Like you think the Duke of Urol would know such things, certainly.
Okay.
What time are we going to do this little shindig?
Seems like we're running out of time.
In my personal experience, tonight is always best.
No time like the
I'm
present.
just
Hideki,
saying,
you
if-
you have a sound check at 7.
7:30, yes. But I was wondering if we did it afterward, I would be able to get something from the sound check that would be able to help me frame Madame Gorble and put people off our tail.
In the hour just before they start.
Where
Do we still
is
have that
the-
data pad?
I believe we gave it back.
Or we give it back to her?
I wiped it.
Wiped
that's right,
it
Your
and
boomer hands.
and sent Fally to go and delete stuff from Mama Gurgle's datapad that Fally said. Now, that is out of your hands, whether or not Fally does that. Actually, enough time's passed here. Let's see how Fally's doing on a couple quick little rolls here. You guys just carry on with your lives.
Oh, all right.
Because the other thing well, Rakor thinks that maybe Muradenki, you could provide a distraction with your sound check, but that depends on where your venue is in location to the starting point.
This
to
is
the
true.
Ships are.
All of this is well and good, but where is Sybil and Paul at this time?
You are not sure of their location. You know that there is one hotel where a lot of the competitors are staying, but you have not confirmed that Sybil and Paul is among them. That is in the area that I believe it was both Phawz and Luck noticed there was an area with a little bit more of like a pretty decent mercenary security, kind of Nulk security, just a little more present. And so there is a hotel where it seems like a lot of them are. You have not confirmed that Sybil and Paul, that they will specifically be at that one, but it's fairly plausible.
Can I
There's
send
no
the
point.
droid to find him? Or would that
You-
not work in this instance, really?
You can send the droid to track that person down if you'd like to. Sure.
I don't like when you laugh before something, Philip. It makes me
I'm not.
uncomfortable.
I received
It's unrelated.
a mildly related text message, not to your game, from a different game, from someone in this game. I won't go into detail, but it was Pierce. So the point being, you definitely can send RK to try and track this person down. You do have a holo of Sybil and Paul, who I guess I will mention. I'm going to try a new thing here sometimes just for picturing that I feel like I've done this before. I'm going to give actor references sometimes, especially when people are humans. So Sybil and Paul, if my dream casting of Sybil and Paul is Tilda Swinton. Just so you understand, there's a very sort of kind of intense sort of, very, very sort of tall and gaunt, very regal. Imagine Tilda Swinton wearing some Canto Bite looking clothing with a Lobot thing over, but kind of that is mixed in with hair styled specifically to accommodate it.
Okay.
That is this person you see who looks very cool. Sybil and Paul notably has a cane with kind of an orb on top of it. And looks very cool, and is probably in a sort of high fashion. We're talking about something with like a sweater tied over the front for there's about to be some yachting in the offing.
But why don't we confirm their location first, and we can plot after that.
Yep.
I'll send out the droid.
All right, so you're going to send RK out with this picture, and where are you sending RK? Because you'll need to give some sweeping the city. That's too much of a crapshoot. But
we'll start with the hotel.
Send RK to the hotel. All right, so RK's
Can I follow it and go to the hotel bar?
You may absolutely go to the hotel bar. You're going to send the thing. Where is everyone else going to go? So RK is going to fly and try to scout the hotel. Phawz?
I will go with Leola as her security.
You will accompany
Leota.
Leota. Okay.
Leota
And Phawz will go to the bar. Is anybody else going to the bar of the hotel?
No,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I would like to, if I can go figure out like a place where, I mean, it might be the bar, just to see if I can gather some info on who, if anyone's placing bets on Sybil and Paul.
If you would like to return to the casino, you could certainly do so there.
Yeah.
Is anybody going with Rakur to the casino?
I mean, I never turned down a trip to the casino.
Okay.
I'll be looking into the specs of that specific whatever.
Excellent idea.
That,
Wonderful.
yeah.
You will just do a little bit of research on the I have the model number here, on the AJ to the 10th. See, Lobot was just an AJ to the 6th, you see. So in the entering time, they built some more iterations of it. Everybody leave me alone.
Right.
All right, so yes, you're going to do some research. So we have 2 to the bar, 2 to the casino. Lucknux, what are you going to do?
Probably skulk about in the shadows of the hotel, but not.
So kind of in
really
the area, kind of communicating with, kind of on comms with RK.
Yeah.
Great. So we have a few things. Dr. Otto, yours is a research base. We'll kind of get to yours a little bit later, but of the other 3 varieties, you know, on my horror game, I have this wonderful thing I can do to try to force more natural 13s to be rolled. Whereas whenever I'm trying to decide like which subplot we follow, I just have everybody roll d20s. So we'll like, you know, like highest one, that's what we'll do, and that's ways for me to get more. But since I don't need that from you guys, I'll just roll a.
You sneaky bastard.
I'm
Rakur
clever.
also has-
I will send S4 to follow Mr. Denki and make sure he doesn't get himself into too much trouble with his little side.
Okay, so
Interests.
S4 is going with
please.
Rudenki. Okay, and sorry, yes, go ahead, Rakur.
Oh, Rakur does have a request of you, Mur, which would possibly aid in gathering some information from a contact that has information. Would request your signature on some items here.
I'm
I
listening.
ran into a fan. Or Rakur.
I'm definitely listening.
All right. So we are going to actually be starting with Leota and Phawz, who go to the hotel. You see a good bit of mercs are out here, and Phawz, you know, this is basically the thing of like you can have a weapon, they don't want them drawn, you know, so you're kind of like, you know, just walking around with a blaster and stuff, and you look like a bodyguard. When you get to the hotel, there is actually a couple of mercenaries who ask, you know, either for a room key or what your business is.
Marketing for Murdanky. He requested that we scout out the bar for him to see if he wanted to patronize it.
They gesture that you can
Patronize.
Both.
enter. Either one's fine. So you enter the hotel. You head over to the bar. There's like a big kind of like multi-level bar in here. Several sort of nice tables. It's kind of like like the bar at a nice hotel in San Diego during Comic-Con. You know, very busy, a lot of people kind of moving and shaking. Not only the people who are participating in whatever stuff. There seem to be areas that are a little bit more VIP. What are you guys doing? Are you looking for anything in particular? What is your plan? What are you going to?
Are there any creatures or people with pheromonal abilities in the bar?
Ooh, good question. I want you to make a perception check.
That's not high. 13.
There's just
Not
too many.
natural.
There's just too many people in here for you to tell. It's just too crowded. There's just too many bodies. You sense some pheromones, so certainly there's people with pheromones. But I mean, you see 30 different species in here before you walk in. There's a nautilon. That's where some of the pheromones are coming from, certainly. But you can't. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put out one word. Just to see it, because I want somebody to approach me and choose to. So don't laugh, but the word is come to meet.
Sure.
You know,
the journey
Approach.
this way.
Approach.
Approach.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
It has to be a one-word concept, y'all.
Okay, so you're just gonna kind of put that out there, hoping that anyone who sort of can pick those up, and numerous creatures with pheromones will probably be able to kind of get that someone is putting that out there. Phawz, did you have a question as well?
Yes, I'm not particularly concerned with personal mercenaries, but does the hotel security in here seem much different than the casino?
Like the security systems or people?
Both.
Go ahead and make a perception check then, I think, for that. You're a grand. You got all those eyes. You can look around real fast, like.
Not particularly good. 15.
Doesn't seem to be a fortress of any kind, but it doesn't seem like it seems pretty standard for a nice hotel. They might just be on a little more alert than usual, but you don't see anything sort of particularly useful in either direction. Okay. Well, that's interesting. So, yeah, let's say that roll a d10 for me, Lauren.
Two.
Okay. Two, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, great. That is who you will then encounter. God, I love these wearing pictures of these things. A rather interesting looking alien comes up to you. This is one that I'm 99% sure if I'm remembering the right one. These appear in, yeah, there we go. A kind of almost insectoid alien is making its way to you. It is a Riorian, and it basically looks like oh man, the 80s were cool. Kind of looks like that. Kind of a bipedal. Actually, this might be the late 70s. I think these were in Return of the Jedi. Yeah, Return of the Jedi. They appear there, and it's this kind of insectoid, kind of like these two things. But this Riorian is actually picking up on the pheromones and sort of comes over to you and is sort of. Does someone require assistance?
Yes, thank you for responding. I just was wondering if you had an inkling as to whether Sibilant Paul is staying in this hotel. I'm a huge fan.
All right. I will roll a culture check on behalf of this random. Do they have that as a thing? Nope. You know what? They're proficient in perception. I'm gonna give them a couple points on this. That's fine. Actually, that's a 19 on the dice. Pretty good. I would hope. Oh, look at you. I can't stay mad at you. I thought most species only use pheromones for emergencies, but, well, you can't ask a Zeltron not to be a Zeltron. Sibilant Paul, if you're looking, is with their crew. Over there. Second level, back corner table.
Thank you so much.
A
Can I buy you a
fan.
drink?
Yes!
I buy him a drink.
Oh, ooh, no one of my hive mates will believe that a Zeltron bought me a drink. I'm truly living the life of Grishmapov.
Well, it was lovely to meet you. Thank you so much for pointing me in the right direction.
You're welcome.
And so then I like contact Phawz Nee with my eyes and sort of nod my head toward where I was directed.
Okay.
Make her way. Phawz Nee will stay behind you, but I am proficient in tracking, if that makes any difference.
Understood.
Yeah, I don't want to approach, but we need to.
You guys want to put eyes on the area. Okay, so you
Yeah.
without much, and you've seen what they look like. So you notice a table in the corner where this figure, you do see the headband kind of at a distance, and Phawz Nee, because of your you have the ability to see things at a much you have some serious
three times normal distance.
Normal distance, so you can be across the room and just be right up next to it, which is pretty great. So yes, you see Sibilant Paul wearing a sort of casual, very preppy kind of look with a rakish cape over one of their shoulders. There's a lot of little lights going off along their headgear. They are sitting at a table with 3 other humans, who are all wearing sort of nice clothes, but much more and preppy in their way, but much less ostentatious. They are all very pretty built to some degree, or they look pretty competent. They're all humans. They all have very tidy haircuts. One of them, actors. One of them looks like the actress Vanessa Kirby. People can Google that on their own, but she's a British actress. Another one who seems maybe a little bit older than the other two, or kind of a little bit older than that first one. Looks like the actress Sophie Okonedo. And the last guy looks like Cliff Curtis. So you guys can just look up some actors if you want to, but I know that Pierce, I think, would have gotten at least 2 out of 3 by name, maybe all 3 there. But that's kind of the vibe of these people. And they all look pretty sort of sturdy and they're serious. They are nursing beverages.
Guards.
Pretty calm. And they are also dressed in sailing, regatta wear. So that is what you see.
It's well guarded. Leota.
Yes.
Can you do anything with your pheromones to mark him so he can be tracked later?
Do you assume that we pee on territory or something? No, I cannot mark one with my pheromones. But what I can do is step outside of the bar and let the others know that we have found them.
All right.
Shame.
So
Be a useful ability.
If the 2 of you sort of do so, really that ability would only be useful if you then had a creature who had if you had an Ewok with you, that would be a great thing to do. Mm-hmm. Because the Ewok, I don't know, fun fact about Ewoks, appropriately, by the way, because, Ewoks with nothing but spears and rocks, took out, the most advanced military in the we don't have to get into it. Point being, Ewoks have a feature called the nose in this game, and this is just stolen totally from the other one. We're based from a Saga Edition. If you are within a certain distance from them, they just know where you are. There's no hiding. They're just I smell you. It's that kind of thing. But yes, if you step out and you kind of relay this to everyone over comms, Dr. Otto, you hear this while you're kind of, moving through data pads, researching. You probably are just or maybe you're playing a game at this point and you're clear notification. But right as kind of RK is about to enter the area of the hotel, Luck, you do get a notification from Leota that they have confirmed that Sibilant Paul is in the hotel in the bar.
Is he small enough to go inside a place like that without being noticed?
So yes, I will say that though the droid is it's a little black droid that hovers. You can certainly try to send the droid in. Stealth. Your droid is very stealthy, but there are certain circumstances where you're gonna have to roll just because they're going to see it entering that kind of thing. But you can certainly give it a shot and have the droid attempt to go in there stealthily.
No, I think we can.
Okay, you just immediately
regroup.
Do that, and RK kind of goes back to you, and then Sizrai is okay. RK's not very loquacious. So we'll pause.
That would be nice.
That moment there, and instead we will cut over to the casino, where Murdenki and Rakur,
And
old
S4.
and S4, old artist buddies at this point have been driving together, walk into this casino. If you are you looking specifically for the Duke of Urol?
I think I think so.
Okay.
yeah.
Not hard to
I'll start there.
Not hard to find him. He's not doing sabacc anymore. He's at probably just kind of like some kind of, round table game of chance roulette like thing. You notice he has 4 different women with him than he had earlier.
4 different. So.
Just different ladies with him. And he's oh, wonderful. Look, I'm rich, and so are some of you a little bit more, but not as much as me. But yes, of course, yes. No, we'll let it ride. Let's go again. Oh, it's so good to be me.
Hello, Duke. Before has returned to inquire an additional query, if that is permittable.
Of course. The author. No trouble. The 4 women all turn here. Kind of look at you, look at Merdenki, go back to the table. He's cool. But kind of the Duke turns and says, "Go ahead and just whatever you want to play it on. I'll go ahead, dear." "Yes, what can I do for you, gentlemen?" "I'm the Duke." He extends a hand to you, Merdenki.
Mordanky of Mordanky in the Hyperspace Stream.
Merdenki in the wait, that's something, right?
It is. We are.
Indeed, one of your previous entourage was a fan of Merdanki's.
Oh, right. Well, good for her. I don't know where she is anymore. She kind of turned out to be crazy. She was crazy.
Good music.
Ugh.
I'm sure.
Oh, yes. No offense to you, but she was crazy, so I had to get rid of her. Ugh. These women, right? So what can I do for you, gentlemen?
Super cool guy.
She was.
Super cool guy. Record simply learned of a new competitor in the race, that one Sibilant Paul.
Oh, you were asking a couple questions about old Sibilant Paul, right? Okay.
Yes.
What about them?
Record's curious if there is big money from big people or
scandalous.
Placed on Sibilant Paul.
Should there be? Do I need to, are you keying me into something? Let's find out. And kind of the Duke just kind of walks away, and I will say I'll do this as a -2. Actually, wow, in spite of that, all 4 of the women follow after the Duke. I rolled a d6 and I subtract 2, and that's how many would go. Yes?
Can I take a peek at the table just to see like how much he's betting?
Sure. That was 45,000 credits we're writing on that. And he walks away, and somebody's like, "Sir, your money." He's like, "Oh, split it amongst everyone there. It's fine." Oh, come in, ladies. You will be later because of sex. So, yes, where are we going here? What would we be doing? Oh, of course, you're about to make me rich, or richer, this way, and sort of leads you guys over to sort of a side thing, and starts asking about, hey, kind of there's a couple of sort of people who work for the casino, some kind of bets makers types, and sort of speaks to them for a bit, and kind of comes back and says, "Ooh, all right, now." Do you know something I should know? Because as of now, there's no real money on old Sibby at all. In fact, you didn't hear this from me, except where the hell else would you have heard it from? I'm the only wealthy person I imagine you know of my stature. Here's the deal. Apparently, Sibby put some money on themselves. Ooh.
Very intriguing.
Cocky little thing, aren't they? You know what? Screw it. Put me down for 100 large.
It's probably good for you to know.
Wait. I said it, but I haven't let you scan my thumbprint yet. Good for me to know what, Ricoeur? Old chum.
That from all the information that Ricoeur has been able to gather, Sibilant Paul they are a rather, what is the term that Ricoeur is searching for? They are an incredible captain of a ship. They have faced adversity in all forms, both in space and on the water. Ricoeur doesn't know anything for certain, but Ricoeur would say that it's very possible that Sibyl Paul takes the win. Again, nothing is certain here in what Ricoeur says, but perhaps you should invest a larger sum of money.
Ricoeur, you... This is deceptive on your part. I was trying to think of another thing. Go ahead and make a deception check. Yeah, this is very much deception.
Yeah.
Can I help him with this somehow?
You
wouldn't believe the stories I've heard about this.
You know what? Are you also proficient in deception?
Yeah.
Shocker. Go ahead. Yes, have advantage on it then. The two of you fast talk this guy.
Okay, excellent. Okay. Let's add a force point. But it's not bad. It's not the worst.
Okay.
22.
Okay. Now, one thing that is cool about being a Zeltron is that your insight checks are always made with advantage because of those sensing sort of that, kind of sensing that stuff.
God,
so
I forgot he's a Zeltron.
The Duke of Oral will roll these. Wow. Hey, Duke of Oral, why don't you go fuck yourself and those four ladies and not me? I rolled a 5 and an 8 on the dice.
I couldn't tell if that was a good thing or a bad thing.
It was a bad thing.
Good for the character, bad for Phil.
Yeah, just bad. It's bad. Yeah.
Hey, for us.
An eyebrow raises. Ooh. Right, and the girls all start laughing. Exactly. Yeah. All right. Hey, Ricoeur. Or Moore, whichever one. I don't want you to be too bashful, but how old were you when you lost your virginity?
Ricoeur recalls it was possibly 14.
14 million on Sybil and Paul. Very good. Thank you. And sort of says, well, let's celebrate with some bubbly, huh? Yes? Or not?
That would be lovely, but Ricoeur cannot imbibe through.
Oh, right, you're wearing a weird
Ricoeur's
thing.
respirator.
Of course. What about you and Moore? Want to get drunk? Wait, wasn't one of you a fan of this guy? No, that was the other one, the crazy one. Bitch. Let's see.
Wow.
Gotta find...
I'm sure if they heard my music, they'd be fans pretty quickly.
One of them actually... Actually, roll a D200 for me.
God. A 44.
44, huh? Oh, yeah. She's an interesting. She's attractive for her species, and she's definitely striking. She is a Shakiran. This is a species that they can actually like squeeze through incredibly small spaces. This is what they look like.
Oh, that is... I had in my head actual Shakira.
And
a little disappointed.
I think that species was actually named for the stunt performer who was in the suit. They just like reversed the actor's name for the visual dictionary. But in any case, so this kind of a boneless, fully cartigenous creature. She sort of.
You a musician?
What did she say? I missed it.
Are you a musician?
Oh, baby. I'm only the best.
Oh, hey, are you a drummer? I hear they have good rhythm.
I've been known to drum here and there.
Oh, wow.
Interesting. Careful, I'll get jealous. No, I won't.
I'll just reach into like my satchel, and the thing that I had autographed for the other one I'll hand over. Murdenki usually likes to extend gifts to those that show him grace.
Right, you are Ricoeur. You are.
Yeah, cool.
Can I insight why Ricoeur is telling him that?
Oh, I
like
totally.
that like I assume Ricoeur is trying to screw him over.
100%.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I have a thing I want to do.
Are you gonna bet against?
No. Just when we leave, I wanna have him overhear me saying something.
Okay. Well, I think we'll. Do you guys have more business here, or you'll just kind of spend a little bit of time with this person?
I have one last thing to pull off that might be incredibly difficult. I probably need to Mur's help with it.
Okay, so why don't you discuss that for a moment then?
Okay. So Ricoeur appreciates you going along. Where I know we've run these in the past, but the Duke seems to just have too much money. And people like that often could stand to lose some. Ricoeur thinks it may be very difficult to do the next part. But given that we are associates and advisors in public eye now, perhaps it is possible that we are the ones chosen to collect the Duke's winnings.
Interesting. Well, I mean, there won't be many winnings if what you...
Yes, this is how the Duke bets on a rumor. How do you suppose the Duke has bet on the favorites? But Ricoeur will defer to you if you believe this is a terrible idea.
Well, I had an
Ricoeur has
idea
done
that...
what Ricoeur's allowed to do.
Well, my idea was essentially, I was going to let him know that we got this information from Lady G.
Much better. Ricoeur retracts. We should keep this simpler.
All right.
Whenever
That's
running
all right,
grifts, keep it simple.
Yeah.
You play some 4D chess with these grifts.
As we excuse ourselves, I want to very not obviously be like, boy, am I glad Lady G gave us that inside scoop on the race, to Ricoeur, but wanting the Duke to overhear.
You're just saying Mama G, you're not saying her full name?
I'll say Mama Gorlick.
Okay. He'll
And can I roll for something to deceptively so that
yeah, do a deception or a
And I would be responsible.
You're helping, so yes, it's at advantage.
It's a 19 on the dice. Let me see. What is my +2 deception? It's my performance.
Yeah, you got
so
that.
So it's +11.
Yeah, 30.
So 30. Wow. I'm gonna roll the force point just in case.
You should, because again, this person rolls his insight checks at advantage.
Does it not matter because he rolled 2 1s?
He rolled a 1 and a 4. Yeah.
Damn! I rolled a 4, not a 5 or 6. But
even though, no one in the world, you and Ricoeur are pretty sure that Mama Gurgle told you to do this. You've convinced yourselves.
Method acting. That's method acting.
You're like, she did. Right before she fucked me over on this tour. So, in any case, you guys walk out of there. And you have heard this message over the comm that Leota has sent you. That she and Phawz have laid eyes on Sibilant Paul.
The person of the hour. Should we be heading that way?
Yes, Ricoeur believes we should regroup. We've gotten the information we came here to get.
And what we came here to do. Isn't that right, S4? I'm just hit S4 like this. Yeah, elbow him.
This place is disgusting.
One of these days, S4, you need to let me show you how to have a good time.
Entire planets could be fed with the money that this casino uses on landscaping.
Isn't it incredible?
No.
What you need to do is you need to loosen up. What do you need for that, like WD-40 or something?
Indeed. If you think I need to take an oil bath, I'm not going to say no.
I bet Phawz Nee never treats you to anything nice.
That is accurate. Phawz Nee treats me to things that Phawz Nee thinks is nice, such as fighting, infiltration, aggressive negotiations. You get the picture.
I do.
Kind of just basically, like, as you guys are walking out, you know, there's just Canto Bite style. There's some like child labor over on some side, like hauling stuff, and some mean basilisk like smacking him in the back of the head. And S4 is just like, and then continues on with you guys. So you guys are regrouping. Are you regrouping outside of the hotel, or kind of in that area, or are you going back to the ship? Where are you going?
I want Phawz Nee to have. Oh, sorry. Were they meeting with us?
You have told everyone they're here. Everyone says they're going to kind of come to you. Where are you? You know, like they texted you. Where are we meeting? Are you saying by the fountain?
Of the bar. Sure.
Outside of the bar.
Yeah.
Okay. I said by the fountain. That was like a mall joke. Yes. Okay. Gotcha. So you guys are all meeting kind of outside of the hotel, outside the bar, sort of in that area, and you all find yourselves there. Night has fully fallen. The beautiful kind of like glowing blue-green lamps all around Nematius, the city you're currently in, light up. It's kind of that, I don't know, like the beach at night, like beach towns at night. There's sort of that kind of like very pleasant quality where like the sea air is coming in, and like you can't even necessarily see the water because it's so black, but like you can hear it the whole. Yeah, it's just kind of that sort of the vibe here.
Gentlemen, thank you for reconvening. We've found them. I didn't want us all to gather in there because I'm assuming some of us must remain anonymous to them, so...
So what's the plan? Are we doing this now?
Phawz has eyes on him currently. Is there a way for me to communicate discreetly with Phawz?
You guys don't have like wireless headsets or anything. You just have comms, so like you can speak quietly, but it's not. People will know you're like on a thing. And yeah, go ahead.
Do you want me to stay with them? We didn't specify that earlier.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was going outside to communicate.
So Phawz, apparently you're still in the thing. You're just kind of keeping an eye. They have not moved. I realized we should have Dr. Oddo. So you've been doing a bit of research here. I want you to make two. Well, okay. So are you literally all you care about are the specs? All you care about are like the details of this check you'll make.
I want the specs of their specific brand of thing, and I want to know any recent known vulnerabilities, knowing technology.
Understood. Yes, that is a investigation check. That's like a kind of going through the used computer. Yeah, it's not used computers. You're surfing, but you're trying to find details of known vulnerabilities.
3 + 7, 10.
It seems. It also you've seen like the price of this thing a few times, how expensive it is, and that it's expensive.
Maybe it's hard to find the vulnerabilities, so I don't have an actual support contract with this company. But just the general specs, how about that? Is that a different investigation check, or?
The specs, I'm not going to make you roll on that. You certainly would have access to like being able to look up, like
the medical details.
Yeah, you understand. Like you're definitely able to download like what you need to successfully like install or repair one of these if you were doing it. And because of things working backwards, you can from that you can figure out how to uninstall one / remove. Just for fun, I want you to make a gather info check, but I want you to use intelligence instead of charisma.
Gather info. Okay, so just my intelligence mod is +3. All right. 16 + 3 is 19. I'll use the force point as well. Good. +4, so 23.
There is actually a place that sells these here.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah.
For how much? More?
They're a lot.
They're pricey. Oof.
They're pricey.
They're about as hard as find as RTX 3080s.
Probably, unfortunately, a little pricier than that. They are they're 40,000 credits.
You take IOUs?
Oh, obviously not. Whew. All right. That's a.
And that is it's 40,000 credits. You know that like if they're like often like fully loaded, they're more like 80, but if you can't get those like fully the base chassis or whatever, they're about 40.
All right, I'll bring that back to the group and say, and while they're going over there, I'll explain. I'll skip over the boring medical stuff that none of you will understand, but this shop over there happens to be selling the exact same model that Sybil and Paul is using for a cool 40k creds. So, what can we do with this information? Replace? Assuming we can spare 40k creds just to get one of these things?
Well, that we don't have the millions of dollars quite yet, but if someone is excellent at gambling, perhaps we could turn around some credits.
Yeah, I will say, kind of like as you know, whatever stuff you're putting together, the idea that you could perform something and swap them out, and like so that the person like, you know, like that could be a risky thing, but that could be a way of they never even know that you did this thing.
Well, he'll notice because they'll have a different UI, and
yeah, he'll be confused, but
he'll 100% know for sure that his stuff is missing.
Also, Rakor and Merdenki were able to discover that no one besides Sybil and Paul was betting on Sybil and Paul. So,
that's good.
If we were to follow Phawz Nee's plan of just simply stunning Sybil and Paul and taking them away so that we can gather the information that we need.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
That seems like we wouldn't have anyone coming after us.
Well,
fantastic. We won't have
there's a slight wrinkle in that.
Yes, Mer.
We may have informed somebody that Sybil and Paul is a shoe-in to win.
Yes, but like as I said, as Rakor said, no one is betting on Sybil and Paul that will come after us.
That's true.
That one person?
We may have given them some good directions.
If Rakor has correctly estimated this person, they have forgotten we exist already.
Will you all speak plainly?
I believe they are speaking plain English. Or common, basic. Playing D&D.
I think you know what I mean, eh, Phawz?
Phawz has an intelligence bait.
As you guys maybe fill in the gaps for Phawz, I will say that Luck Nux, you kind of glance over, and there's like a Gotal family kind of like walking out of an ice cream shop. You know, like there's like a Gotal maybe like 15, 20 years younger than you know, with his kids, and he looks all harried, but at the same time he looks so happy, and you know, there's just some party that's like, you know.
Yeah, I'll pull out some photos and just look at him while people are talking.
Sure.
Getting excited.
Like a tear in his eye.
Just don't blink, you know.
I'm
grow
looking
up so
forward
fast.
to her wedding, my daughter's wedding.
Yeah.
Oh, how did you know? I hadn't even shared that news yet.
So, someone to walk down the aisle with her. That's me.
I was saving that until after the heist to share with you all.
Oh man.
Anyway, Phawz, I believe you'll be able to do your pew-pews as you wanted.
Now I want Luck Nux to be the only survivor. That's now what I think would be hilarious. Just everyone else just like fucking dead. And Luck Nux like, well, go to my family. Go ahead, sorry.
Actually, I take that back. Phawz isn't with the group. He's watching Civil Paul. So.
I'm
that's
assuming
right.
we're.
Oh, that's right. Wrong.
You've
I do have a long
then
range comm, though.
but you did not hear that whole exchange. No, yeah, you're just
No,
in
that's-
there
yeah.
checking out.
All right. So
Is our plan to follow him to his room and then zap him and take it out and be on our way?
Let's call that the plan as of right now. They are surrounded with 3 of their crew members, I'm assuming. They look very adequate at whatever they do, be that just crewing a vessel or perhaps protecting Civil Paul. So something to consider. I'm sure it's nothing that Phawz can't handle.
I would just wait for him to be. He's got to be alone at some point, right?
Hopefully.
No, probably not. Not if they're bodyguards.
Phawz,
Sleeps
I
with
want
them?
you to actually. You've been in here a while. Phawz, make a let's call this insight. It really would be an intelligence-based thing, but I think you might have been in there long enough that let's not have this be int-based. Let's make an insight check.
It's an 8.
Yeah. Then you know what you know.
It's not very much.
Not very much.
'Cause I could probably tail him whenever he does go back.
They
I will
Yeah.
will message or call up Leota. Have I seen Lux Nux's scout droid?
The scout
I didn't
droid
send him
did
in.
not get
I
sent
pulled him
in.
back.
No, I just mean like do I know it exists?
Yes, you have seen it.
Okay.
You have seen it functioning. You have not seen it in here because it's not in here. But yes, you know it exists. Yes, exactly.
I will message Leota then and been like, I'm still watching them, but they're gonna take off at some point. Can Lux Nux get that scout droid in here to follow them?
I relay that to Lucknux.
I think it
Is it
might be
possible?
better if I just follow at this. Be less conspicuous than the droid.
I relay that back.
That is probably true.
Whatever works best.
Why don't both of you track them?
Both of you meaning
I think
meaning him and the droid, or meaning me and Lux?
You and Lux. Look.
I'm decent at tracking, but
Are you stealthy?
better than some. Not great.
I will leave it up to you guys. Because that's how this game works. I let you make decisions and then punish you for them. That's what role-playing games are.
No matter what the decision is. That's the best part.
I think it would best if myself and S4 being the primary aggressiveness in this group hang back until we're needed.
Very well. Look.
All right.
So,
Is there like a side door or a utility entrance or something I can do?
oh, if you want to enter like stealthy, like you don't even want to be observed going in. Sure. Make a perception check, your surveillance agent check. Basically, make your, infiltration point check.
Not good.
Okay.
3, 5, 9.
The only such doors you see have a lot of people going in and out of them. You see no kind of like sneaky point of ingress.
Very well. Do they challenge you guys when you go in there, or can we just enter freely?
I think Leota would remember that when she referenced Murdenki, they were looking at a data pad and they said okay.
Okay.
Likely that name is on a, they're kind of just making sure people are at least sort of supposed to be here to some extent.
All right. Then I will, I guess, enter the only other doors that I see.
You go through a door. You are stopped. A mercenary human woman kind of stops you and says, "What are you doing here?"
Just here as part of the Murdenki entourage, making sure it's up to his specifications.
Go ahead. You kind of just your dress was a little less whatever, but you said a code word. You walk in and you see Phawz Nee's kind of like just inside the bar at a spot where he's definitely not trying to hide, but because his eyesight's so good, he doesn't at all look like he's watching who he's watching.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I will take a position in the shadows or hiding from his view and wait for him to make a move.
Okay. He'll try to kind of blend in, just being conspicuous. It's less really hiding in shadows in here and more just kind of trying to just kind of, lean against a wall, be sort of chill. So Phawz, are you taking that opportunity to leave?
I think so.
Wonderful. So Phawz Nee's text walks out. What are the rest? Are the rest of you going to stay in this area while this goes down? Any other little plans or schemes or nonsenses?
Well, is the plan...
Is the plan just tailing and then just stunning him, and then doing a quick swap surgery or something?
Well,
the thing is, if I'm not there tomorrow to do my gig,
they'll know.
They're gonna suspect me.
Indeed, this is what Rakor is worried about. That we need to remain on the planet for some period of time.
Why?
Because I was, well, not paid, but asked to be here.
We also all
And you
commented on
found out
names.
that your rival was trying to discredit you.
Did you exit, Phawz Nee? You're with us now?
Phawz Nee has exited now back, yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
and
but I mean, I said I'd do the job. I didn't go back on that. I'm a musician at heart.
if we are going to do an exchange, we still need 40,000 credits in order to accomplish that. So,
Exchange? What exchange?
We can swap out, I can swap out his, cybernetic gear with another one, provided I have the gear. And I can convince them, one way or another, to take the trade. Then that'd be preferable for me, then we don't have a dead cyborg on our hands. And
That's what you want to do doesn't make much of a difference to me,
And-
but that's an extra wrench in the plans.
And if they're willing to take this replacement for whatever reason, then we didn't do anything wrong.
Tell yourself that if it makes you feel
Why would they be willing to take the replacement? Isn't it
Now
strictly worse?
That is a question that I would have to figure out once.
because otherwise
That
we're
seems like a
going-
big question.
they're
Yeah.
going to take the replacement if you want to go down that route, because otherwise they're going to die.
You are
See-
very convincing.
See, there's something about subtlety you don't quite understand here, Phawz Nee.
Subtlety doesn't mean much when you're at gunpoint.
That's the only thing. Anyway,
Interesting. Subtlety, in many ways, should mean the most when you're at gunpoint.
so
As a famous bounty hunter once said, some people think they can outsmart me. I've yet to meet someone that can outsmart Bullet.
I don't believe that's a bounty hunter. I believe that's a person named Heavy.
Close enough.
Yeah, the famous bounty hunter, Heavy.
Heavy
fat.
weapons guy.
As you all kind of heavy, as you all sort of discuss
Anyway.
these matters inside, and what is you have decent perception, right? Lucknux?
Passive is just 2, but when I roll it, I get the bonus D10.
Right. You get to add a D10 to it every time.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do that then.
Okay.
Actually, that kind of means I wonder if that means your passive should have a +5 to it because it's because if every time you roll it, you're also rolling a D10, we should give you the average of that die as well. But
20.
All right, yeah. So we'll just kind of say in general, your looking out here has been going well, and you do notice maybe 15 minutes after you took over that group is sort of standing up. They are paying. They seem to be preparing to leave the bar. I want you to also make an insight check in the same way that kind of Phawz Nee did, but Phawz Nee didn't quite pick up on things in here.
Sorry. With the int score? Is that what it was?
No, this is just an insight check, just normal insight.
Without my bonus?
Do you usually get a bonus to insight?
If the surveillance agent, it's insight, investigation, perception. All that perception.
Yeah, if it's all of them, then sure.
All right.
Oh,
20
right.
again.
Okay, then I will say that you do pick up the following about this place. You are seeing at a lot of these tables where kind of like the positions of honor around this bar, you either see 4 athletic-looking beings, one of whom maybe looks kind of rich, or you see 5 beings, 4 of whom look athletic, and one of whom is like paying for everything, and you know, you're seeing a lot of groups of 4. Almost to the point that you're like, you must need 4 people to operate one of these boats on this race. So there is a certain degree of thinking that these people with Sybil and Paul, who are with them, you suspect they might be a crew.
Got it.
That being said, with a 20, I mean, there's a look that stormtroopers have. You don't ever see it because their helmets are on, but you know they're all humans, and you know they're all military, and there's a way these 3 people with Sybil and Paul are carrying themselves, and they feel first ordery. They feel like bucket heads of some degree or another. But they are heading out. But in fact, they pass you. The one who looks like Vanessa Kirby actually kind of like notices you, kind of just like clocks you without nothing too aggressive, just kind of sweeping her eyes around. The other 2 don't seem to notice much. The one who looks like Cliff, the male, seems ever so slightly drunk, but not dangerously so. He also is built. He's as you sort of see him, he looks stacked, but they all look like they're in very, very good shape. But they walk out. The Vanessa Kirby one has seen you. Yeah, go ahead.
So, based on the research on the things on the headgear, would I be able to tell at a glance whether there's any like kill switches or anything on it?
Usually no, it would not be on the exterior. It would be when you're inside. Yeah.
I would know that. I would imagine that, like, if it was like an explosive, I'd be able to tell there's an explosive ordnance on there for sure, like, at a glance.
Once you remove something, you would be aware of that. Yeah. So whenever you actually are in the room and seeing them, you can maybe try a perception, but you suspect you might have to get a little deeper. It might not be visible just from the exterior. So Phawz Nee, they are leaving the bar. They're heading towards a turbo lift.
Are they coming through the area where we are?
No, you guys are not in the hotel. You are outside of the hotel, is where you said you were waiting.
Oh, I see.
So kind of like Phawz Nee had got inside with Leota. Leota came out. You sent in Luck. Then Phawz came out. So Luck is now like within the hotel, and they are moving across the lobby towards a turbo lift. What are you doing, Lucknux?
Is it just them, or is it like a bunch of people?
I mean, a good number of people are going in and out, but the 4 of them are definitely kind of a cluster.
Got it. I will. I'll wait and see what floor they go, and then follow up.
So you will wait for their turbo lift to go, and cool. So you're kind of mosey over there trying to do. They get on. 2 other beings, a couple Duros, get on with them.
Oh, well, if others are getting on.
Others are getting on.
Is it too late for me to join?
I'll phrase it like this. You won't be stealthy if you do. You will be conspicuously, like, holding the door open and stepping on with them as well.
Got it. I already regret my decision.
Do you go on?
No.
Okay. The door closes. The lift begins going up. It stops on floor 14. And then it stops on floor 19.
Okay.
Then it goes up a little further. Then it starts descending.
Okay.
Did it stop again?
It stopped on like 22 and now it's coming down.
Okay.
Does it stop again? We'll say evens, yes, odds, no. It does not stop again. It opens and a Chadra fan walks off, holding a comm, like, tell him to sell. I got business to do here. I'm important. Yeah. And then a couple other aliens step off, like, what's going on the comm on the elevator? And we thought the First Order was bad. Jesus Christ.
I'll take the elevator to 19. Can I have RK check 14?
Ooh, yeah. You and RK get in a turbo lift. Does anybody else get on your turbo lift? Yes, as a matter of fact. I'll just roll it because I have a D200 handy here. Ooh, yeah. A very kind of eerie looking figure in a robe sort of puts a hand through and steps on after you. Seems sort of like a very kind of skeletal sort of man who just kind of glances at you and says, "Good evening."
How do you do?
Well, would you please hit 18 for me?
Sure thing.
I want you to actually make why don't you make a culture check? Let's see if you recognize one of these.
7.
This is a Stennis shifter. You should cross them off. You don't know that, I'm just telling the audience. With a 7, you have no idea. You're just like, this guy looks creepy. So this shifter gets on and asks for 18. You hit 18. The turbolift begins to rise. It stops at 14. Your droid is there. Your droid is going to get off.
Yeah, I had imagined he'd more come in from the outside, but that works too.
There's not really like places to come in.
Got it.
You know, yeah. So you probably will. I'm gonna assume your droid was able to sneak in when you did. I'm fine. I'm fine with that. The kind of shifter just watches it go. Interesting delivery droid.
Yeah, I haven't seen a model like that before.
Very interesting.
But what I did see is this nice family getting ice cream earlier.
Ooh, where?
It's all out with their kids, and
It is such an important thing to experience joy with your children while you have them.
I couldn't agree more.
Do you have children, grandchildren?
On the way.
I hope that it has been fulfilling for you. I chose not to have any children, for I did not wish to die horribly at work.
Nah, that's not going to happen.
I like your optimism, friend, and I wish you good evening. The doors open on 18. Somehow 14 to 18 took a bunch of people got on at every floor there, and there was anyway. Somebody came on with like a hover card, got stuck. Anyway, you guys had a second to chat, but everyone then left on 17. Now you're at 18, and this Stennis shifter gives you a good evening and steps off. You go up to 19. You step out into the vestibule. Different hallways going down in different directions. You can make a tracking check if you'd like.
All right.
I can't imagine you have any history with that. What being a scout and all.
Yeah. 20.
20.
And we'll throw a force point on the 20. Why not?
Why not?
Nice.
6.
A 6. You kind of look around. You kind of just, it's that almost like innate sixth sense. You'd think you were a force user, but I mean, you know, they can't have kids or whatever, or that's not going. Anyway, you kind of go down a hallway, and you see 3 humans standing in the hallway. The people you saw leaving with Sibilant Paul. They're standing outside of like a nicer room, basically.
Like on guard duty or just chatting?
No, they are chatting very kind of like quietly. I want you to go ahead and make a stealth check as you sort of are approaching to not be seen. It'd be awesome if you roll like so bad. I guess you probably can't. You probably have reliable on this. Yeah.
I do. Well, it comes with the smuggler.
I know.
26.
26 is good. You kind of peek around. You don't believe you've been seen. They are discussing something rather intensely. The younger one, the blonde, is kind of like, well, are you sure it'll be safe? The man is like, it'll be fine. Let's just get through tonight. No slip-ups. You'll want to talk. You seem drunk. You want to test that theory? The woman between them says, both of you stop. It'll be fine. Not worried. It'll be fine. Come on. Let's go in. Yeah. You see them kind of glancing around the hallway. They scan a card over the door, which beep, beep, beep. They walk inside. Door closes.
Into the nicer room?
Into the room they were standing outside of, a nice room, like a state house looking penthouse kind of room, yeah.
Got it. So would I gather that he's in there with them?
I would say with your tracking, you don't think that Sybil and Paul, you don't think they would have gone further. No, seems like where they probably all went.
Got it.
You get a little beep from your droid that 2 Duros are in a room.
Thanks, RK.
Walk into a bar.
2 Duros walk into a room. Are they copulating? I don't care. That's an RK joke. So anyway, and then what I always like to say is RK. Oh, whew, boy.
Oh man.
Citizen RK. Okay. Anyway, yeah. What are you up to, Lucknux?
I'll ping the team here.
Okay.
Let them know that I think I found his room and where they're staying, and that they're all in one penthouse.
Technically not a penthouse. I said the wrong thing because it's not a thing. But I'm like a suite. The word I sought was suite.
Got it.
Yeah. All right.
I missed part of what you said their conversation was about because my internet was dying.
Oh,
I'm
gotcha.
assuming they caught that.
You know what? We'll say that you just relay it to everyone else so they all heard it at least.
Yep.
Did one of them say that they were having a problem? Sibilant Paul was having a problem or something?
It seemed they were worried about something working. And it seemed they had concerns about can they make it through tonight.
Interesting.
Indeed. Phawz, if you're talking, I can't hear you.
Maybe they're trying the same thing.
Same thing, meaning replacement.
We're just trying to get the code.
This does.
Didn't you say they looked like a bunch of first order goons?
That does
But if-
greatly complicate things for us, does it not?
Yeah.
Might not. Might be easier to work with them.
Well, if they were stormtroopers, at least we know they're a bad shot.
Bad shot or not, I don't want to get shot. I'm not a fighter. I'm a doctor.
Damn it! I'm not a doctor. I'm a doctor. Damn it.
But way I see it, we got two options. We can try and get to him while he's in the room tonight, or we can try and get to him on the way to the ship tomorrow, whatever that might be.
I'm thinking we should keep an eye out and watch for when the company leaves the thing. and
Or
scout and see.
Phawz, potentially, you could just take out the 3 that we don't need.
Oh, I can. But a lot of grenades and gunfire in the middle of a hotel is bound to attract some attention.
Well, aren't you a good shot?
I didn't say I can't do it. I said it's bound to attract some attention. How do you want to extract him afterwards?
Because I think those 3 are part of his crew for this boat, so I don't know that they're going to be separated.
Rakor thinks that maybe this is the opening we've been looking for. If they are having problems, if they are malfunctioning,
That's what I would think. I just want not to know what is malfunctioning. If it's the headset, then bada bing, as they say in some parts of Coruscant.
On the Coruscanti shore. Yeah.
correct Rakor if Rakor is wrong, Doctor, but regardless of what is wrong, would you not need to run a full diagnostic to figure out the problem?
Well, of course, but that's the thing, though. I can't just walk up to it and say, "Hey, I've been hearing on the grapevine that your headset, your cybernetics were having an issue. How do you know that?" Then they shoot me because that's first order. That's what they fucking do, right?
Well, they
It
try.
would be if Rakor may posit a scenario. This is, of course, simply a first draft, but it is very possible that you overheard what was just being discussed in the hallway. And as someone who is perhaps looking to see Sybil and Paul win, we are on a gambling planet.
Reasonable.
Perhaps the person who put a $14 million.
Correct. Perhaps the person who put a $14 million bet on Sybil and Paul sent you along to check on the investment.
Wait, who is this person who put a 14 million, not dollar, 14 million
Credit.
credit bet?
Yeah.
14 million credit is the Duke of Ural, which
Do I know the
is
Duke
not
of
something
Ural?
we need to concern ourselves with.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's probably fine.
The only thing you know about the Duke of Oral is that nothing can stop the Duke of Oral.
Yeah, I just want to say
You're gonna go into song lyrics, aren't you?
And as you
Well,
walk through his Duke,
walk through this world.
Okay, we're stopping this.
Otto, how long do you need to extract the headpiece?
First off, I have to confirm that it is the headset having an issue, and I would only take 10 minutes to extract it. Maybe I'll be able to convince them to. You know what?
is there a way for you to copy the information?
Where's the ship?
the ship is not. I think it's across town, but it's not absurd. Not across town. It's like it's at a landing platform that's like maybe half a click from where you guys are.
I think copying the information off of an encrypted headpiece would be more of a slicer thing than a document.
Well, I'm not half bad.
Can we just hire
slicing.
a slicer? Leota, you seem to have funds, or we can cash them in on it.
Do I have access to a slicer?
I mean, you certainly could put out feelers to find and hire a slicer and cut them in on your job, absolutely. The question I'll have for you as a group is twofold. One, do you want to do that? Do you want to give up money for the possibility of bringing in a slicer? Two, do you want options, or is there only one slicer you'll go to?
Is this up to me?
It's up to the group.
I don't
Answer
know
the
if I feel
first
good.
question first.
I need that 1,000,000 credits to fund our life after this.
On your daughter's wedding.
Yes.
Oh God.
She has very expensive taste, but it's okay.
Anything for your favorite daughter.
I'm
Yeah.
sure
Love
it's
to
going
see
to
you
be
soon.
a beautiful wedding.
6 million split among 7. Phawz is counting on his fingers.
Don't hurt
Yes.
yourself, Phawz.
All right, let's.
100,000 credits here. There's no big difference to me.
Okay, step one, we need to just figure out what is malfunctioning. I can say that a certain individual who has a vested interest heard that something was malfunctioning, and he has hired me, a trained cybernetic surgeon, to look into that, making sure it's not the headset, because that would be very. We need to fix that ASAP if it is.
Wait. Where did we get the idea the headset was malfunctioning?
That's what I'm trying to
I would not.
ascertain, Phawz Nee.
Record does not believe you need to present all of that information. You stop at the moment where you've said you have someone who has hired you to come do an exam because someone has put quite an investment on Sibling Paul and merely wants to ensure. Perhaps they slam the door in your face. Perhaps you gather more information. Perhaps they will,
right.
and we send S4 with you as your, because S4 is just is like a tricked out, but is a protocol droid, right?
No, S4 is
No,
a
it's a battle droid.
Is
It's a
a
battle
is
droid,
a
that's
is an
right.
obvious New Republic prison ship battle droid. Yeah,
They won't like that for sure.
yeah. They'll
What? I
they'll
have a
recognize
question.
they'll recognize that. Yes, go
This
ahead.
is becoming too complicated. Phawz Nee takes it back.
All right.
Takes back what he said.
What are you gonna say?
Would
Deanna?
Record be able to falsify documents to say that the doctor is with the yachting organization or
That's
whatever?
what I was thinking.
That would be a
yes.
slicer job.
Slicer
Okay.
job.
Really, my
Okay.
deal.
All right. You know what? I'm just going to show up with my med pack here, act as a surgeon, because I am a surgeon.
As
Yes, don't forget
Um,
that, please.
Sure.
Excuse. Hello.
Yes.
Why do we think the headset is malfunctioning?
We don't. It's a ruse.
Well, Otto keeps saying it is.
I will go with Otto as
Alright.
just as the person. Okay, Record will accompany you, Doctor, as the person who is aware of the
Sure.
involved party.
All right.
Perhaps Record is your broker in this, overseeing the interests here.
Right.
Do a little more of the talking.
Okay.
I think that might be a good idea.
All
Very
right.
well.
So Rakur and
This is
Dr.
such a bad-
Otto are going upstairs.
Perhaps we should have several other people on the floor in case things turn poorly for
You
the
all
Doctor
have
and
fun with
Record.
that.
Phawz Nee does not understand what is going on right now.
Just
Well,
be.
Phawz Nee, very simply, we are going to pose to be a doctor here to do a checkup.
Opposing.
Okay.
We know
And
that
then-
there.
All right.
And then. Never mind. Just go with it.
All right, Phawz Nee.
Where do you want me in S4?
Lucknux, you have the lay of the land. If you could provide the stakeout points that would be most advantageous.
Would I have optimal points that I could share with them?
I mean, they could kind of
Just
just be
like-
up on the hallway.
Oh.
Like, there's not no security cams up there, so like, you'll have to be like a bit,
Well-
here or there, but
What if we were to simply rent the room across the hall?
Where are we gonna get the money for that?
It's one night of a hotel.
Why would they? I don't know if they have vacancies, but anyway.
The fancy hotel.
Yeah, let's just we'll play it by ear. All right. This is gathering information here. So
you two are going to go up.
Do you just want me to go with you into the room?
Nah, just sit back in the hallway. So in case we need backup, then we'll just take the elevator down.
So who's going to be in the hallway?
Turbo lift down.
I guess we'll phrase it like this: who is going into this hotel and taking a turbo lift to the 19th floor?
I shall.
So Oddo and no one else is actually going up now. You're just kind of all at the ready.
Yes.
Great. Okay, so Oddo and Rakur enter. I am gonna ask, just for other reasons as shenanigans are going on, like do I need to create a slicer on this planet? Just that's a question I have for you, Leota. It seems like they're moving forward, but okay. In that case, just as this just lets me kind of get this going in, would you roll a D200 for me, please?
What is that again?
A D20, and whatever that is are the first two numbers, and then a D10 is the last number.
Okay. So 69.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
All right, great. Very good. Okay, cool. I got it. Very good. That's Mimbanese for the record.
They're not wormfolk, right?
So, yeah, there should be wormfolk. I probably should have had to do wormfolk in this. So, the two of you go enter. You say you're with Merdenki. You are able to enter. Honestly, the fact that, I will say to everyone who's gone in and out of the hotel, there's definitely been a sense that when Leota and Rakur have been present, they were like, yeah, sure, you look dressed up. You should be here. The two of you take the turbo lift up to the 19th floor. Lucknux has told you where this door is, and you are able to get there without any issue.
All right.
Yeah. It's a nice hallway. There's flowers in a vase and such. What's that?
I'm assuming I'm still up that hallway, or...
I thought you came down and were downloading everybody with all this stuff.
Oh, that would have made more sense. Yeah.
Do you want to go back up with them?
Yeah, just in case.
Yeah, I was gonna say having some backup.
Okay, so Lucknux is also up there, so you're there, but you're staying back a bit, kind of out of the camera feed, and just kind of like hanging out in the hall. Perfect. So you are at the door.
All right, I'm going to knock 3 times on the door and say, general medical check for what is the name of the organization running this place?
Namadii Regatta.
Yeah, the Grand Regatta of Namadii, or Namadii Oceanic Logistics Centrality would also be, they're involved.
Really rolls off the tongue.
Yeah. I'm performing a medical check on behalf of the Marii Flotilla, Grand Flotilla, if you don't mind.
Okay. Go ahead and make a deception check.
Whoops. And ended up in a weird place. 10 minus 1, 9.
The door opens.
Hi there.
A young woman, blonde, Vanessa Kirby-esque, is standing there. Hello.
Hi there. My name is Dr. Oddo Eisen. I've hold up my medical pack. I understand that, I don't know. I'm here to perform a medical examination. I understand there's one of your, what is it? What is the name? Sibilant Paul has a headset of some sort, and I'm here to perform maintenance and medical check on that.
Oh, are you? Yuri, and the guy kind of steps over and says, "Oh, they sent you to do a medical check, huh? That's very appreciated." Yeah, please come in.
Can I make an insight check?
Go ahead.
They're on to me.
Seems great.
Come on in. And we'll sort of stop there and say, I will have to search you for weapons. I hope that's okay.
Of course.
Kind of pats you down. Do you have a weapon on you?
I'll show them and detach my wrist. You understand how things get.
No judgment,
have
of course.
to protect myself.
Just like sets it on kind of like the side table there. Kind of looks at you, record.
Yeah, I usually have an ion pistol on my hip, and I'll sort of hand that over.
Run into a lot of droids?
Oh, every now and then a record has found himself against the machines.
In a rage.
Just pats you down. No problem. Are you guys? Do you have any other weapons on you? Anybody hiding anything? No, you've given. Okay, cool.
That is all I've got.
I do have wrist blasters.
Okay, cool. So he actually will. If you have a hidden wrist blaster, this does require a sleight of hand check to detect, or a investigation check to detect. I do roll a natural 20. So
I am shocked.
Ooh,
Apologies.
Oh,
I get it.
I also set down my wrist whip cord as well.
Okay, cool. So takes the wrist stuff. It's kind of this guy's like chuckling, like, I get it. You wear it so long, it's like second nature to you.
Correct.
He sets him down. Come on in, please.
Of course.
Closes the door behind you both. Have a seat.
All right.
We're so grateful that they've sent someone to check out the headgear on old Sibilant Paul.
So I'm gonna try to do fast talk them in order to confuse them with medical jargon. So
okay,
anyway,
go ahead, make your medicine jargon fast talking check.
I'll say, all right. I understand Sibilant Paul has a AJ Exponent 10 new system that is specifically interfaced directly into their person. Am I correct or incorrect on this?
You're correct. As you guys kind of step further into the room, you see that sort of sitting at the table there, in the process of like polishing and putting together, but apparently having just assembled, kind of reassembled, ready to go, is that woman, the sort of slightly older woman than the others, with a full Wookiee bowcaster, which she has kind of like put together, and she's kind of looking up. Oh, we have guests. Is that right? That's fun. It's good to have some guests at the table. What are they here for? Well, they're here to inspect Sibilant Paul's Borg construct, the AJ to the 10th. Oh, something wrong with it then? They were sent by the organization. Oh.
At this point, I'll interject. Perhaps we should be more clear.
That is clear.
Recently, a very large sum of money has been placed on Sibilant Paul to be the victor of this regatta.
How exciting.
The investor merely wishes to ensure everything is tip-top shape.
The investor. Ooh, I fancy.
So
someone's betting on me. And sort of in the hallway, Sibilant Paul is now standing there. How utterly flattering. Hello?
Hello there.
Who is this? Who has so much confidence in us?
I look to Ricoeur.
I know. Sorry. Rakor Rashad knows him only as the Duke. Often.
A
the Duke-
Zeltron?
Indeed.
The bowcaster has been finished being assembled. Just sets it down. That's very interesting. The other two are just like in perfect positions. And there's just like they at some point between when you guys walked in here and this, they have heavy blaster rifles just like at their sides. Like not even hands on, but just like mounted. They're here. It's very interesting. Well, so this Duke thinks that because he has bet money on me, he can inspect me.
It is merely a request. We are by no means going to force anything upon any of you.
I should say not.
Not like we can.
Looks around at these people. Yes, I think I'll be declining that request.
And respectfully, we will take our leave.
No.
Rashad does not understand. Have we slighted you?
That remains to be seen. What are you here for? That's all I want to know.
As Rashad said, we were simply tasked with a diagnostic. You have declined the diagnostic.
I have.
We will be on our way, perhaps.
You distrust my cybernetic surgery expertise. That'll be the end of that. I've done quite very many cybernetic surgeries in my time.
Have you? This is the younger woman again, the blonde. You have?
Yes.
Have you ever
my
operated
way.
on one of these machines before?
I've read the specs on that.
Ah.
Of the people who request these parts. The similar headpieces like this, they generally haven't come up with the latest and greatest quite yet. But I've worked with AJ9s, AJ6s, so on and so forth. I've done quite very many, and I know my way around those things.
How
That's why I was
interesting.
hired to be here.
The kind of guy just sits back there like, what do you think, Doc? Does this doctor know what he's doing? And the blonde woman says, sounds like it, yes. I think this actually is someone who could get their hands in there. Could run a diagnostic, among other things.
Not to be insulting, but as a doctor, trained medical professional, that is really rude and insulting to me. But I understand I'm in your presence, so I shall not say any further. I understand, doctor, you wouldn't understand either. People questioning your expertise.
I'm not questioning your expertise. That's why we're so troubled that you're here. The woman with the bowcaster says, yeah, both of you, I want you to go over to that wall and kneel down and face the wall.
I look at Rikur. Oh.
I will walk over and kneel down. And as I kneel down, Rashad would just simply advise you not do this.
Not do what?
It would appear, based off of your brandishing weapons and putting us into an execution position, that is precisely what you are planning to do.
Are you going to comply or not?
I've knelt down
Okay.
as I'm saying this.
Dr. Odd, do you do the same?
I'll kneel down as well. Just, I warn you, I do have a large debt I need that to some debtors that may not be happy if something happens to me.
I'm bored. I'm bored of talk of debt, Sibilant Paul says and just walks back into the inner chambers. The others sort of stand, you feel them all standing behind you. You hear, various weapons being held. It's a tense moment. Outside.
I'll say.
Outside. After kind of around this amount of time since they've gone in, Luck Nux, you see the turbo lift opening. 6 Nulk security forces are exiting the turbo lift. Are you trying to hide? Okay, make a stealth check. You're muted.
30.
30. So yes, you're able to just you just sneak around a thing. These people run back. You see they seem to be going to the door, but at this point you can't see it because you're hiding. You guys inside, the woman sort of with the bowcaster, you can feel like something like resting against the back of your skull. And she says, even just a week or so ago, this kind of behavior would get you killed, especially an alien like you. Wow. Aren't you lucky you live in such more enlightened times? They're in here. And doors open. And the security and say, yes, they were here to, these 2 grifters tried to come in here and access medical things for the principal of our group. The security people are putting binder cuffs on you unless you're resisting or anything.
No.
I got no options.
God, some people just don't understand the rule of law. The security people, you have a pretty good passive insight, right, Rakur?
Decent. I think
Decent.
It's 14.
I will say that without any... what about you, Dr. Otto? Similar zone?
Passive insight
is...
My wisdom is +4, so I believe it's 14. Right?
Both of you notice some, like, these people came in here like, oh, this is going to be intense, and, like, situation seems well in hand, and when they see all the weapons in here, they're like... The guy's like, yeah, they came in, they were lying to us. Thank goodness we were able to stop them. We took these weapons off them, too. Some illegal wrist stuff. I mean, they're so dangerous. We were scared for our lives.
Unfortunate weapons.
They put you guys in binders and say, we'll take them downstairs. Come on. And Sibilant Paul goes and says, thank you so much. We appreciate your protection. Walks back in. Go ahead,
as they're being let out, I will just say, you are correct. There are those among us that have no respect for order. As they lead us out.
Nice.
The last thing you guys hear is the doors closing. She's like, were they trying to suggest we don't? Because, like clearly we do. Wait, what? I'm confused. The door closes and you guys are shuffled, kind of frog marched down the hallway by some Nulk security.
Are they like armed security, or they're just like hotel security?
No. This is not hotel. This is like.
Did they collect our weapons as part of arresting us?
Tell you what. What's your
collect?
Yeah. What's your passive?
Perception?
Yeah.
Mine's 18.
14.
Neither of you noticed them taking your weaponry.
So now they have our weapons. Oh well.
So, but at this point, they march you to the turbo lifts. Luck, you see this. If you want to relay it to people, you can. But I do think that's a good ending note here.
Yeah. Oy.
That's a complication.
I just realized that I never said where I was during all of this, so I just like to say that Murdanky was getting a drink at the bar. While everybody else-
Anyway, let's.
Well, I figured you would have left, gone back to the ship.
Yeah, I mean, I need plausible deniability.
Of course. Well,
I say drinking a space martini.
Oh man.
I knew there was a low chance. There was not a high chance of success, but we needed some way to move this forward. I had no other ideas of where to go. Well then.
Well, you're not dead.
Phawz Nee is not very intelligent. Phawz Nee did not think that was a good idea.
I know it wasn't a good idea. I know it wasn't a good idea.
Phawz Nee's only idea is that we shoot them and leave with them.
And I even
Now that you've met them, do you agree?
Go ahead and shoot them.
Yes?
100% don't agree. We would all die if that was the plan we had gone with.
Not if we kill
If
them
the
first.
plan is walk in the front door, then yes, and announce yourself.
Does anybody in this group have diplomatic mission?
No.
Okay.
No.
Not even Leota.
No.
As
No
a diplomat, man.
Oh, wait, yes, I do. It's one of the things I chose.
Yeah. You haven't encountered them yet. I would you if Rakur had that, I might have let a portion of that kind of just go through. You get the impression that these might not just be stormtroopers.
Yeah,
With this
I'm
person.
very much getting that impression.
Yeah.
So, but
They might
this-
have been stormtroopers,
Right.
but they were probably good
This harebrained
stormtroopers.
scream reveal a lot of information. They're heavily
absolutely.
armed. They're very capable. They're very intelligent, and well, now they have our weapons. But
They're also very
And they're
rude.
not reckless.
no, this is not
Yes,
someone
but-
where you can just shoot.
The only ones that know that so far are Otto and Rakur, who are currently in custody.
Well,
Don't worry,
currently
we have
waiting for the elevator in front of Lucknucks.
That is
We have
true.
our-
Luck
We
nuts
have our
is
one
there.
phone call, right? Is that how it
I'll
works?
take out
Our
all
one
6.
communicator call.
Take it, I'll like stun them all.
I mean, you could just be like, we have no idea what was going on there. They just had guns and stuff, and then they called security on us. We were like so scared. There's a way. There's ways out of this.
Oh, there's plenty of them.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
I'm
you
not
guys
saying there's
are.
not.
You're fine. Oh man, there were certain things you could have said where they might have just shot you in the. They might have just executed you. They might have just done a hit. But yes, as you say, they're not reckless.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy.
Complications. It's a heist.
Yep, of course. Well,
All right. Well, fun. It's interesting because we had one thing I find about these Star Wars games, and it isn't really reflective of an actual Star Wars movie. Combat is so rare, and then it is so much. Like sessions go by and there's no combat, and then combat happens, and like turn 1, somebody's at like below half hit. Just like
Every other game we play, like combat is something I am ready for. I'm like, okay, let's do this. In these games, in these Star Wars games, I am like, please no. Please
Yeah.
no. I fear it.
I will die.
I fear combat.
I'm going to identify these people by some of their names eventually in the game. So Nidrin is who is being played by Sofia Okonedo, and oh man, I'm ready to get her into combat, you guys.
I'm not.
I'm not.
He's-
All right.
I don't
just-
want it.
I couldn't help but when you had that person with the Scottish accent or whatever with the bowcaster, and I was like, oh my god, it's Space Merida. Like, Mom, it's just me bowcaster.
It's just me, Bowcaster. Yeah.
That's what she was gonna say to me before she shot me in the back of the head.
Yeah.
If you had a chance to change your fate, would you?
Oh boy. Yeah. Well, that was great. That was great, guys. I was shocked at the plan you ran with. And that's why it's fun to play D&D. They talked for so long and they were like, let's just pick one.
That's the thing. There's like there's nowhere to go except gather as much information through any means necessary.
You and as you say, that was successful in the sense that you know things you didn't know. Because had you gone into a shooting fight, you might have known things and people died. Guys, that was great. Thank you so much for watching our disturbing Star Wars heist game, Smuggler's Reverse. We will be here next week with more. I also am going to point out to you guys, you are halfway through your heist, my friends. 3 sessions of
gosh.
6 down. There is a flex one in case you wind up needing it, but It's really a six session game. So we will have to see what happens to the gang next week. Once again, if you like what you see here, please follow and or subscribe. If you get a free subscription from your Prime linked to your if you have Amazon Prime, you get a free subscription if you link your Twitch account to it, etc., etc. It's September, which is cool because it means something. And we have other fun games. If you want to check those out, you can watch tomorrow is the penultimate episode of this season of Top Flight. If you tune into Top Flight tomorrow, we will reveal what is going to be following Top Flight, which is an exciting thing. We will be having were you about to say what it was again? We were about to say it?
No, I thought you were going to reveal something that was going to happen in Top Flight, and I was like, what?
No. So we only have 2 more Top Flights before the end of the season. So that's some exciting stuff. God, I hope they end at a reasonable stopping point. And we also so that is on Mondays, and then on Friday, check out Blood from a Stone, our horror game. This most recent week, we ended with what is it? Strong Girl Carries Pretty Girl. What was the name of the?
Oksana Smirnov, Carry Pretty Girl. I don't know.
That's what earlier you said. What Oksana would have named like the book cover.
No, you said it.
Oh, okay.
But
but that's what it was.
We'll think of it.
It was really scary, is the point. Oh, fucking God. So check that out. Anybody else have anything to plug or say or talk about or do?
I'll just plug my webcomic again. I do a webcomic called Travelers to Tolaria. It's on Webtoon. You should go check it out. I'll put a link in the chat.
You should. I'm going to plug another one, and maybe you can link to this somewhere or another. I did a webcomic with that guy, and it's called Wonder Worker, and I think that's also on Webtoons, and you can check that out historically. Because it's
is historically?
Like, it isn't now. It's already ended. So great. Well, everyone, thank you so much for watching. We will see you. Yeah, please.
This isn't for me. This is, but also if you like the music you hear and such, on our Discord, we have music from Murdenki's band that you can listen to and download as well. And also in the horror thing, Philip has written a novella set in that you can also read on there.
We have downloads on our Discord. So yes, thank you for that plug of that. Also, we didn't get to see it tonight, but I will just do one quick flyby. The good old Whaler, just
the Whaler.
This is why we need subscriptions for these like amazing effects.
Anyway,
you don't get this anywhere else.
Boy, I live a
practical effects are really they hold up.
Really
yeah.
Good. Just imagine that on an old school blue screen, not even a green screen, but a blue one, because it was so long ago before green was invented. Oh my God. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I will leave you with our closing words. The Force will be with you always.
Bye-bye.